Alright guys, as promised, the purpose of this video is to introduce you to R. And in doing so, the first thing I'd want you to do is open up a browser. And I'm actually sharing my desktop with you here. I changed my desktop picture to appropriately show R. I'm going to open up Google Chrome. Again, use whatever. And what I would do is just go to google.com, and again, I'm not like on Google staff or anything, so I'm not getting any kickback for recommending this search engine, but guys, at the end of the day, just type R and do a search, and the very first thing you're going to see more than likely is the R project for statistical computing. So I want you to click on that. And of course, this is where we begin the process of downloading R to our computer. Now, it might be a little easy at first to get overwhelmed by everything, but at least for now, we don't need to worry about much more than just downloading it. So I would come to this part right here, which says to download R, and click it. And the first thing it's going to ask you to choose is a comprehensive R archive network. Now, this is important, so we'll have access to the same data sets, we'll have access to the same code. The one that I use, and I've tried quite a few of these, and I really don't know why I prefer this one, but I just do, and it's going to be the one I'm going to use, so you'll definitely want to use it too. Is this one right here, the University of California at Los Angeles. So I'm going to click this. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to download it according to the machine you have. If you have PC, you're going to choose Windows. I have Mac, so I would choose Mac. So again, choose whichever is the download that corresponds to the computer you use. And the next thing is I would search for this, where it says latest version. There's no need downloading something that may have some bugs that haven't been fixed yet. So download the latest version. So I'm going to go ahead and click this as if I really wanted to download it. And you can see down in the bottom it says, says either keep or discard. It's probably going to tell you that this file can harm your computer. I don't know what to tell you. Proceed as you think best. If it's your parents' computer, ask them. I've seen nothing that, no news, no reports, no information at all that indicates this is not a safe download. Now, guys, once you download this, you'll be asked to go through the installation process. I found it to be extremely simple to do. And again, I've already got it downloaded, so I'm not going to go through that. But nevertheless, once you complete the installation process, either on your desktop or possibly in a download file, wherever you put it, you're going to have an icon that looks like this. So I'm going to click this. And what I did is I just opened R. And I'm not going to get into this a lot now because I want to break R down into to small bits and pieces. But let's just say, for example, that I had some data. And let's say the data were GPAs of 10 students at your high school. So the first thing I would want to do is I would want to store my numbers as a certain variable. Now, guys, it's kind of good. You're going to see an emerging theme throughout this class. What I typically name variables as will be all capitalized, and it's usually 3 or 4 letters. I don't want a variable name that's really long. Just makes it tougher to type and access. Next thing I want to do is I want to use what I call the C function. And now I can, and I'm just making up, I'm going to make up let's see, how many we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need to make up, let's put, all right. So what I have there is I have 10 GPAs. Now, you know, again, when you first start using something like this, it's the little things that drive you kind of insane. Now, right there, I chose not to put a space. I could put a space if I liked, but I don't have to put a space in this situation. Notice that the C there cannot be capitalized. If it is, it won't work. So I do this, and nothing happens. Guys, that's where you have to get the mindset. When nothing happens, it means you did something right. If there was an error, for example, if I did this and wasn't paying attention, I get an error, right? And the reason I got an error is I capitalized the C function. It isn't going to work. But if you notice, when I typed this first line in and I executed it by hitting enter, nothing happened. So what I can do now is whatever I save my data as, I can come in and type that, and I see the data. Now, again, I don't want to get into a lot here, but you know, what if I wanted to find the mean, find the average? What if I wanted to find the average of these 10 scores? And what if I wanted to find the sample size? What if I didn't know there were 10 scores there? Because guys, you're going to have data sets that are going to be, you know, 800, 900, 1,000. And sometimes there's not going to be information there that provides to us how many pieces of, how many measurements that we have, how many numbers that we have. So when I want to communicate something to you, but I don't want to execute a command in R, I start this with the hashtag. Think about Twitter. Think about the number sign. So this allows me to communicate to you, but not execute a command on R. So to communicate to you, communicate to you here, what I am now going to do is find the sample size, and that's N, and the average. Now notice, because I started this with hashtag, R knows that I'm communicating. I'm not trying to execute a command. Now, what do you think you would do? We know universally that the sample size is N, right? So a lot of people will say, well, let's do this. That would make a lot of sense. Well, no, that's not what R wants. What R requires for the sample size is called the length. So guys, wow, I missed one. Okay, let's go back and check that out. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I thought I had 10 GPAs there, but it turns out R kept me honest and said, nah, you thought you put in 10, but you actually put in 9. Now, guys, that's not going to change. Anytime, whether it's week 1, week 12, week 15, week 30, that I want to find the sample size of a data set, I have to type in length. So it's going to be easy to forget things. So what I would highly recommend you doing in your video journal is keeping an R command notebook. So the command length, and it's got the auto, and the purpose, find the sample size N. All right, now you can imagine how many commands we're going to have down through here. But let's say you're doing an assignment on R and you need to run something called a t-test. And that's going to be one of the things that we're going to actually teach in this class, I don't know, probably 2/3 of the way through. Well, by the time we get to t-test and sampling distributions and normal distributions, confidence intervals, margin of error, all these more complicated things, it's probably going to be easy for you to forget things that we cover at the beginning of class. If you keep this, if you keep a notebook of your R commands, all you have to do is look back to this page and say, well, I want to find the sample size. How do I do that? Well, I do it by the length. Okay? Now let's go back to R. And what if I want to find the average of my data? Well, it would make sense then that I would just type average of GPA. Well, no, that's not the way R finds the average. To find the average, and again, these are the things that I'm going to teach you. These are not things that I expect you to go out and find. These are not things that I expect you to be creative and come up with on the fly. These are commands that I'm going to teach you. So guys, to find the average, I just type in mean of GPA, and I get the mean of 2.79. All right, so I got a new command that I just learned, and the command is mean. And I'm going to do the purpose, finds the average of our data set. So guys, you can imagine all the different commands and all the different corresponding purposes that we're going to run into. I highly recommend you keep an R command part in your video journal. What I would do probably is set it up where the first part of the journal I would take notes on statistical ideas and concepts, and then in the very back of the journal I would probably allow maybe 3 to 5 pages where I would do nothing but R commands. So guys, that ends this presentation. Again, the purpose was just to show you, actually to introduce you to R, show you how to do a search, find R, download it, and how to use it in the simplest way that I'm going to ask you to use it in this class. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a reason for us to save anything that we do here, but if we do, we can come up to File, and we can come down and do a Save As. And the Save As is going to keep the script that we have here. Now, a lot of students want to save every single script so they can go back and refer to it. That's not what I recommend. I recommend keeping, again, an R command notebook on the things I teach you and, the purpose, okay? Well, guys, that's it. This is a short video. Not a lot that I can do here. We're going to get into a lot more complicated things with R at the proper time. But, that proper time is not today. So have a good one.